Siemanko, zapraszam do zajmowania miejsc, za minutkę ruszamy. Okay, hello everyone. I'd like to welcome you for the next Aula Polska event. All of this event will be in English, and all of this event will be dedicated for Ukraine and the Ukrainian founders that we have. Please welcome them with a lot of cheers. It's our 175th Aula, and we are doing it for over 15 years, and I'm glad to be a new organizer of this event for the past few events. So I'm in a new role for me, because it's something unusual from my perspective. However, I'm a community guy here, and I try to make our community here in Poland bigger. And we know that we have here in Poland also a lot of guys from Ukrainian Belarus startup community, and I think that this is a good idea to give you a chance also to speak, to promote yourself and to tell your story in these very extremely hard times for you. So all of this money from the tickets also will be donated for the Ukrainian Foundation, and we also try to promote this event. Everything is also promoted on social media. We are making live streams on Facebook and YouTube. So I hope that it will be also a nice opportunity to you. And I'd like to welcome here 4 Ukrainian founders that will be here today. There will be Oleg, who will be the first one on the stage. Hi, Oleg. Second after Oleg will be Irina. Hi, Irina. The third will be Vladimir. I haven't seen Vladimir. Vladimir, you are here. Okay, okay. And the fourth one will be my beloved competitor, Lidiya Terpel from Skyworker. So I think that everybody can benefit from our meeting today. After that, we'll also have some networking as usual. So I hope that you will also enjoy this time here. So every presentation should take us about 10 to 15 minutes, but taking into consideration our last meetings, I know that some of this took us longer, but I'd like you to be focused to make it on this, let's say, 15 minutes time frame. And of course, after each presentation, there will be a time also for the questions. Okay. Here are also some things that I would like to tell. Our media partner is Mom Startup, and I'd like to thank Mom Startup for this. And the second, yeah, we can choose it. The second thing that might be interested to you, we are also organizing a founders trip to the Polish mountains from 2nd to 5th of June in Kościelisko. Maybe it will be a nice time for you to spend the time. The organizer is Team Crunch and Aga Krantz. Aga cannot be with us today due to some problems. However, you can contact with her directly on LinkedIn or on social media, and we will also give you more details about this event later. That will be the landscape of this event, so I think that we can also make a nice networking and also relaxed. Tomek, who is also here, he's the guy who is also an organizing and event manager. Yeah, cheers for him. He's also responsible for Aula, and thanks to him we are here. And Tomek also have much more details about this founders trip.
Yeah, so if you'd like to know more about the founders trip, just hit me on LinkedIn.
Yeah. So regarding the timeline that we are already half an hour late, it looks like that. So we are starting with Oleg, then Irina, then Vladimir and Lidiya. So that's how it works, and I would also tell something more about our next event that will be in May, and in May we will have an event about Web 3.0. The guys who will be on the stage will be announced soon. And the last event before the summer will be the party, because we have the 50th years of anniversary of Aula. So I know that me, alongside with Kamil Kozioł and Janek Sikora, will make a very good party. Janek? Yeah, yes. I know that with Janek we will... Yes, I know that with Janek we can party hard, and I also would like to invite all of the guys and women from Ukrainian and Belarusian startup community. But okay, maybe let's go to the point. I'd like to invite Oleg on the stage.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Okay.
Turn off the phone, so my mother would not call.
Okay, Oleg, the stage is yours.
Thanks.
Please welcome Oleg. Warm intro.
The mic is here.
The mic is here, and this is for you.
The clicker is here. All right, my timer. And could you please give the slides as well? Put on the slides, because these are not mine, I guess. Okay, these are mine. So let's get to know each other probably more closer. Raise your hand who are investing in startups. VCs, angels. Raise your hands here. Okay, I love you guys. I remember your faces. And now, raise your hand who are the founders of the startups. Okay, I love you even more, because we are in the same boat, right? And what about the others? Why did you come here? Any, what for? Say it again? For water, okay. For a good time, Anyways, my name is Oleg, and a small story here that 57 days ago I left Ukraine exactly 8 hours before the war started. And me and my co-founder, 8 hours! Me and my co-founder, we left Ukraine on last commercial flight, having no clue that 8 hours later, the same airport runway will be under heavy airstrikes. Just for you to imagine. And when the war started, I just promised myself that we're gonna build the most kick-ass team in Europe and give people, make them feel proud because of who they work with, I mean other teammates in our startup. And secondly, give the best opportunities for them to grow. And this is what we're gonna talk about today. But before that, before we'll start, I'll give you a short glimpse of who we are and basically what Gradual does. So Gradual is the sales training platform. I'm myself a sales guy. And Gradual is a sales training platform that helps companies to grow sales top performers. And this is the easiest and the fastest way to enable sales leaders with the team growth by giving them the training automation and giving them the tools to analyze the performance of the sales guy so they can provide the personalized coaching. This is how it works. And as for now, we have 120 plus teams that are using Gradual. We've graduated from the hottest accelerator, Startup Wise guys, the hottest accelerator in Europe, and we managed to grow our team from 4 to 12 people since the last autumn. And we got plus two new team members since the war started. And those who want to talk about our startup, I basically mean the VCs, angels here. We're gonna talk after the sessions in the networking area. But for the others, you probably know that the two most important things for the startup is market, right? Who do we sell to? What is the amount of people we sell to? And how do we reach to the hearts of our customers? And secondly, this is the hiring. Interesting moment that this is who gonna execute what I said before about the market, right? And regarding the hiring, you should get the best, as they all say, investors, people around the startup community. You need to get the best breed people, the best fit for a company. And why it's so difficult, I'd like to explain like in simple words about the hiring. So let's play a game here. This is Jennifer Lopez, right? And imagine you just bought a brand new 30 years old Volkswagen Golf from 90s. And you just drive this Golf, the shiny new Golf from 90s. You drive it and you see Jennifer. Okay, this is not Jennifer. There we go with the Jennifer Lopez. I just missed the slides. Anyways, and you just drive on the street and you see Jennifer right there and you just slowly stop, open up your window and say, Jen, let's go on the ride with me. So what's gonna be her answer? Any options here? This is the question to you guys. Okay. This is your time to pretend you're Jennifer Lopez. Go ahead with your creativity. No answers? Go with this. Like, what she would say to you stopping on the brand new shiny Golf and saying, hey, let's go on the ride with me? No. Insurance, okay, got it. Any other options? She's just struggling to answer you something, right? And why so? What is the guessing? Why she's struggling to answer it to you in this brand new shiny Golf from 90s?
Because it's a brand shiny Golf from 90s.
Okay.
Because of the very good pickup line.
Very good pickup line, okay, good. Any other options? Girls, let's pretend. She doesn't know you, exactly. Any other options here?
I think she will say, I never believed in love in first sight until I met you.
Okay. That was a good one. But in fact, that's because she's dating Ben Affleck, right? So there is Ben Affleck, and there is you in this brand new shiny Volkswagen Golf from 90s. You feel the difference, right? And imagine now you are just typing to somebody from, we have user comment. You type somebody to the HubSpot, to the senior people. Hey, we just raised 1 million round. We have a beautiful opportunity. Let us you join our leadership team, right? How much messages do they get of this type per day even? Like dozens of them. This is now how it works. Somebody from Poland just wrote to the person from London to join their leadership team. Was the idea. Ben Affleck, shiny brand new Golf from 90s, right? And how to fix it, basically. And the answer here is in formula, is the core formula of magnetic hiring is basically the pipeline. A couple of slides before, I missed the slide that we've managed to close 3 leadership positions. Our startup just managed to close 3 leadership positions. We hired the front-end lead from Data Robot, like almost the decacorn. Then we hired the marketing team from the company that just raised the round of $20 million. And then we hired the sales lead from the company that almost a unicorn, the US startup on the round C. And getting back to the hiring pipeline, so this is how you build up the list of the best fit people for your company that already knows you, not like Jennifer with your golf, that already knows you, and they understand they are somehow interested to get in touch with your company and to work for your company. And this is the concept behind it, just like the sales pipeline, sales funnel, right? But it has its own stages. So the stage number 1 is the big idea. This is how, basically, when you meet with the people on the conference, you tell about your startup, you tell about your company, your needs, your plans, also the vision that you have, and you get somehow in touch. They do not understand that you are looking for at some point in the future, they will be looking for the possible candidate who you are, right? But then comes the next step. This is the interested. When you really got in touch with person and you pitch, like right now we are in the fundraising mode. Want to close the round and want to get a lot of people that gonna bring hell lot of growth, right? And the point here is to get to one simple question. If I'll have the competitive offer for you, would you join me in the next 6 months, let's say? You should understand also the motivation of the person. Whether the B2B sales tech startup is something of her or his profile or not. Whether she's looking for the self-actualization or not. Then my personal favorite one, the stage which is called wet the feet. When you try to interact with this person, this is kind of due diligence in hiring. So let's pretend that you have a leadership guy from HubSpot from London and you want to hire them to the usercom. Who don't understand, usercom is something like the competitor for the HubSpot. And you interact with this person, you allow them to consult you, you bring them to the part-time work, you allow them to interact with the team. This is how you bring the due diligence. And also for the person, whether I'm interested to go full-time work with this startup or not. And then comes when they interacted somehow with you and you feel they really love you, then comes the final stage, the signing process. When you get the candidate, you sign the contract and you wait for the exact dates when the candidate will join your board. Okay? This is how it works. This is the hiring pipeline. Secondly, you've seen 2 stages. The last one, what the fit and sign, and how to get there. Basically, when you interact with the person, when you work with the person. There's the 3 core things. The first one is the vision. They should match, they should understand their own personal why to the personal why, to the why of the company. Is it matched or not? Secondly, these are values. And it's more or less understandable here that this is the list of the things that you stand for and how do you act. And the third thing here is the great tool, which is called Maslow hierarchy of needs, where you can apply different segments on how you convert people to your company. So we have like the basic parts, which is the psychological state and safety needs. This is what you not as the potential employer or a potential place where this beautiful candidate would work, you work with. Because this is like basic life needs. Then comes the love and belongings. You could belong to the community, you have the loved ones. This is what basically most of the jobs can provide, because when you join some company, you just provide them some kind of community, right? Then there is the esteem. And this is where your startup is starting to get over other companies. What is the esteem? When you give them the space to be recognized and to act based on their skills, right? And question to you, would HubSpot, let's say a beautiful company, the competitor of the usercom, would HubSpot give the self-esteem, not the esteem, to their senior people? Yes, no? Why so? Okay. If company will be slightly smaller than HubSpot, probably they will, because these are the senior people. They get a lot of support from the management. They encourage the growth and whatsoever. But the last point here is the stage of the self-actualization, where the best fit is the early stage startup with the hyper growth. Why so? Because basically when you involve a guy who should join your leadership team to build something from zero, completely from zero, they have nothing. And imagine they're just becoming the CEOs of their own direction. This is the self-actualization. Would HubSpot or any smaller company somehow give them the chance to be self-actualized as they most likely to be in their life? Probably not, because HubSpot has the framework or what should person do. Because this is the company not from scratch. So this is the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And I have 2 minutes left. And what I wanted to say, when you definitely worked with the hiring pipeline, when you definitely worked with the values, with the vision that you transmit to the person that is about to join your team, and when you work with clearly work with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, this is your time to shine. This is when you get the point, and you can get the Jennifer, even with your shiny new goal from the 90s, which is about to be 35 years old. So that's it for today. I mean about the magnetic hiring. We will go to the Q&A section, and I'm waiting for the answers. Not the answers though, but the questions. Thanks.
Any questions for Oleg?
Any questions? Go get him.
Janek? Yeah. As always, as always, as always.
One question in regards to Jennifer Lopez. Because you mentioned some of them before and it was like my first high school love. And I was just thinking that if you will be driving by, I don't know, Ferrari or Mustang or whatever, would she say yes to your question from the beginning?
That's a great question. I bet that she would say no at first, but if she will be somehow like a close friend to you, or you somehow interacted with her before, it might work out. But when you're in shiny new Golf from the 90s, you have to work a lot. And not getting her like in 2 weeks, but working months of months, and thinking about the offer that you can pass to her in the next 6 months. And also showing how you work, what are the values, whether your values and your vision is matched with her vision,
I
basically.
see your point, and I know where you're coming from and what you're trying to get. But from my perspective, is that, sorry guys, I will stand there so you can see me. I don't understand the idea that, honestly, you always have to work hard. Doesn't matter what are you driving. You can drive a Ferrari, or you can drive, or I don't know, whatever you want. It's always about the hard work and the first look that you're making. So
yes,
the first idea that I'm not killing the presentation, so sorry for that, please don't take it like that. But I was thinking that the competition, it's not competition, comparison, Jennifer Lopez to, what's it called, to golf, shiny, even from 90s, I'll put it another way. You always have to work hard. That's my assumption to it.
Thanks,
okay?
man.
Thank you.
Well, definitely love it. Thanks for the suggestion. And yeah, you should definitely work hard whenever you are in what car. It doesn't matter what car you are driving. Go ahead.
Oleg, I have the SaaS-enabled marketplace, and I want to use your service. Sell me that in 2 minutes. What's your elevator pitch for the Gradual?
I'm so sorry for this. Before you said the elevator pitch from Gradual, say it again about 7.
Yeah, SaaS-enabled marketplace, doesn't matter what it does, but what Gradual does actually.
Right, cool. Thanks for the question. 1 sec. Right, cool. So you have the sales enablement marketplace, right? That means that the more customers the more customers interact with your enablement marketplace, the bigger the LTV you get, right? And the point here is in service. What you get and how do you deliver the values to stick to your marketplace, to be your beloved customers. And the people that interact with customers are salespeople. So based on how salespeople could deliver the value, this is how you get the maximum result. And how can gradual helps you here, that starting from the first days of the newcomer, you'll give them the structured training, so they will understand how to deliver the value to your client. And then you'll see what are the paths should you choose for the salesperson to considering their performance gaps and considering their growth zones, you'll give them the personalized coaching path so they will understand how to work with the customer in a better way. That's it.
And if I can just do the follow-up question. So if I'm doing innovation, like as every startup, right? So when I want to sell innovation to marketers, to merchants, and you are about to help me, how are you going to get the data to make your personalization for my sales? How could you be better than me as a founder?
All right, cool. Look, this is another topic that could be discovered as well. But the point here that we give you the data on how people work, their performance, the overview of their performance by analyzing the CRM that they use and the sales tools that they use as well. And then we suggest you, okay, for example, here's the Piotr, and here are the performance gap that Piotr has. And then you're able to arrange with them the coaching sessions based on their previous performance. And you see how these coaching sessions, how do they impact on your growth numbers. So we do not replace the human here. We just help you and consider Gradual as the assistant, your training assistant, where you see the data, you see the suggestions, and you, based on your internal thoughts, you decide how to follow on with the person. That's the answer. Okay,
Sure,
thanks.
thank you very much.
Thanks here.
Any other questions to Oleg?
We had question
Yeah,
here.
we have questions here.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
thank you for the speech. And my question was about hiring the sales lead, as I remember, from VGS, right?
Very good here.
Yeah. So my question is, what was the recruitment funnel? How many people were there? How much time did it take from the beginning to the hiring of the sales lead? And also, was it the US-based team member, right? The originally US, like this.
Okay, cool. So that's the girl. She used to live in Kiev. Now she's right now in Krakow. So you could meet also at some point. We had 3 people in the pipeline, and we had a clear task to build up the outbound sales. And she's very active on giving the courses, giving the professional materials on how to build the outbound sales. And I reached out to her about explaining, hey, we have the questions and we have the tasks, we have the goals to build up the outbound sales on the Western markets, the UK, the US, and Europe as well. And she started with the part-time. She was able to give her time for us at that moment. And it took about 1.5 months, starting from the first message to the first days of work. And basically we had 4 calls with her, starting with explaining what's the idea, what tasks and goals. This is what I said before about the wetting the feet here, that you basically do the due diligence with her and vice versa. And then a couple of calls about the company, the vision, the values that we carry on, because at that time I wanted to hire her for the full time. That's it.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Any other questions to Oleg?
Go get it.
Okay, if not, thank you once again for this amazing experience.
Yeah, thanks for it. And basically, one more thing to be at here on this stage, that when the voice started, as I began this speech, that I get some kind of more understandings what should be the actions and what should be the motivation. Because it doesn't matter whether you sell whether you're a marketer or whether you hire people, or you get like messages from the people that your startup won't last any longer, or you won't get it, you're boring, you're not promising. As they said, like, your army would last for 3 days to the second biggest competitor in the world, right? And at this point, my message here, that we should act like Ukraine acts right now. We should be motivated enough, trust our people, get the support that we needed, and we'll definitely make it, no matter how hard it is. Thanks for this, and I'd like to say a tremendous thanks for the support of Polish people. This is the message from the bottom of my heart, because this is a super valuable point for me. Secondly, I'd like you to give some noise to the organizers of this event, Piotr and Tomasz. I love you guys. Thanks for this beautiful opportunity. And also enjoy this evening, because beautiful Ukrainian startups, I'm proud to share the same stage with them. Beautiful Ukrainian founders will speak today and share their stories with you. Thanks for it. Enjoy.
Thank you once again. Okay, it was an amazing performance. And right now, I'd like to welcome Irina, who will be talking about 9 do's for startup survival. Oh, I think that we have something with the clicker. Just give us a moment. We will replace it. Or maybe we can start without the slides. Just give us a moment. I will give you, of course, the microphone. Oh, moment. Just give us one moment, okay? Because we have it in the PDF. Okay, so I will give you the clicker. I will give you the microphone. And big applause for Irina.
Thank you so much, Piotr Tomak, to invite us here. And yes, as Oleg said, it's usual thing to be on stage to make him pitch, but after all, it's usual thing, it's so unusual here, because after all, everything changes. And so I will show our pitch, which was like a month ago or 2 months ago. It was for before war a situation, and now we change it. And I'll try to tell you about our product and about our things, our thoughts, how to manage the situation and how to be even better. So I'd like to present our Handy Eye. Is DXP, Digital Experience Platform, and it's a virtual digital assistant base. So imagine that you hire and you are working not with desktop wonderful girls, we are working with loaders and some people who are not so digitalized, but you have thousands of them or hundreds of them at your for example, at your network of shops or at your factory, and so you need to communicate, but you cannot. You have no channel. They have no desktop. If you try to give them some messengers, like one of our clients, like Metinvest, is a metallurgical giant in Ukraine, they give them Teams and try to make them use it. And then they tell us that only 3% of them use it, because they don't like. Yes, and so you need to give them a lot of information. You must teach them, you must certify them, you must give them, you must make surveys, but they cannot communicate. And when and there's digitalized people in their non-work life. They use some digital services, they use banking, they go, they use Viber, Telegram, WhatsApp, but when they come at their work, they are like in 19th century, so they stay in line to have some HR documents, etc. And so we think how we can change it, how we can build this digital bridge between the owner, the managers, who try to communicate, and these workers, blue-collar workers. And so we think how we can do this digital experience for them, like very simple and very native in order to have zero adoption to make them it's really lovely. And so we think, what if we put in their native messengers, their Viber, Telegrams, WhatsApp they use in their real life, what if we put all our services, all our information, and give them assistant? Just imagine then every worker will have a personalized digital assistant in his pocket, in his Viber, and he will communicate via assistant with their company. And next we think, and how our HR people, how our administrative can do these communications real time and understand what is better or what is not so good. For example, our maybe all of you know this Ukrainian ravels. There's all even Polish management take these trains to get to Ukraine, so it's popular now. And it's one of our clients who use it to give assistance to their workers. And at the beginning, they try to put their very, very big articles, and then they understand nobody read them, nobody love them, and so they change into small articles, into some jokes. And so you can test it real time, you can change it, you can test new things. And so we created this studio, for HR or administrator, who can create content, who can create the role of the users. So choose the user we want, like it can be a worker or HR or some team member. And we created studio to design business scenarios in order to create different ways, different journeys for the people. For example, when you come first day, you have one journey. When you we want to promote you, you have another, etc. And so we do it as simple as if you write instruction in your notebook. So you just move these things, and so you create, for example, first day, and you use your corporate framework, because you have some security guys, they must understand that a man come to work, and he may go to the security manager and then to meet his, for example, team manager, and all this data must come to data lake, and so it's as easy as write this excursion. And that's why we orchestrate, for example, all these internal communications and HR services just in one place. And what about our workers? Yes, they really want to have this personalized communication. They want their company to tell good morning, John or Piotr, and so every company can create its own hero, corporate hero. Like, for example, this man called Buksa is from Ukrainian Ravels, and this girl called Yasa is from the Tech Yasno network, and so Maxim is for Sanofi. And so they create these heroes in order to make this communication more personal and more funny. Yes, our platform is not only about blue-collar workers, so our clients can use this for partners, for example, Sanofi, AstraZeneca, they communicate with their doctors, some clients communicate with their regular customers, and for example, we create a communication platform for volunteers and refugees. I will show a little bit later. So we have 500,000 clients, and we have 60,000 MRR, and we have 35 people in our team, and we are now going to have one part of this DEX market is 10 billion now, and so why we think that we can manage to be like a part of this market. We understand it's huge. Because we have these good statistics that, for example, in the take, we say 1 working day during onboarding of our workers, and it's very huge figures if you understand what money they spend for these months of onboarding. In national level, only reducing costs is like $636,000 per week, per year. They was printed the newspaper on paper. It was like this subscription, and then they move it to our assistant. And besides, they have like 18% more trusted information than before. In Sanofi, we increased the responses of doctors to our messages by 61%, because doctors do not open these emails, but they communicate with virtual digital assistant. And what we have now, we have this platform license. We have more solutions at that platform. And so we have cloud solution. Our revenues is like only before cloud, so I will pass it, so we think it will be better. Now, because we have this cloud solution and we are ready to have partnership with technical vendors, like for example, first of all, Viber, WhatsApp, then with Google for startup, Google and Microsoft, with Salesforce. So these vendors who our product is like a part of the ecosystem. Then we want to have like referral partners which can consult like HRs of different companies, or help our clients to create the communication. And so we will, like Deloitte has, etc. So we'll give them our product in order to be a part of digitalization process. And what about our go-to-market strategy? So yes, it's Europe. We have entity in Poland, and yes, we come a day before war. Here, knowing nothing about this situation, and we must open this entity here, because we have Poland Prize grant to open our hub. And so certainly we use this time to have a lot of meetings. The more we meet, the more we understand what is differences between European and Ukrainian market. And our next goal is US market, and we are going there just in May. Unfortunately, we cannot come to party, but yes, we think we will meet here. But we want to have this hub for Europe and Poland, and to start work at US market. And besides, we plan to have our representatives. For example, in Italy, we plan to have it in May. Sales representative offices, so people who want to give our products, for example, to Italian customers. And we think that we have some partners in different countries. So it could be like, first of all, consulting companies who will put our product into their portfolio, or it can be like IT companies who sell some other IT stuff to their clients. So it's our roadmap. We are a little bit earlier. We have cloud solution in June, and so we think that will be a little bit earlier. While yes, we rise, we need investments. We have invested our own money for 3 years and money from our Ukrainian clients. And now we need money to put our cloud solutions to European and US market, to hire these wonderful people who will help us to sell and do marketing, and to have this more and more features in our solutions. Vladimir is also here, my partner, and Igor is in US now. And we have management team. Fortunately, most of them are here in Warsaw, and due to Google, we have this office in Google Startup, and some of them are in Ukraine. And when we were preparing our pitch, we discussed with Tomac that we must give some minutes about what if war, what is changing and what you must do or not do. So we have these 9 do's. We think it's our insights we have during the first days and first weeks after the war. So first you must rescue your team, and so we were in touch with every man, and sometimes you even need to give them to go to sell. Yes, please go. Help them to leave the Ukraine when it's very terrible situation. But a lot of people need this support from their team, from their founders, in order to help them and their families to leave. Then we make them options, so we give options to our people. We believe that it's a really good moment to be as transparent as we can and to give them understanding of the whole situation, because we need them to cut costs, to cut some salaries, to wait for money for some time. So. But we are, because a lot of Ukrainian giants, they stop paying at the first days, but now we are happy that this Friday we have like 5 meetings, and it is like before war time when Vladimir says that I cannot discuss anything. I have 5 clients meetings, and so 3 of them was from Ukraine, so these Ukrainian clients come to work, and we are happy. But still, you must tell your team the truth, and you must do all you need to be transparent, and they will help you to make the best survival strategy. Then I understand that I have no time more. So we move to Agile. So we change these weekly meetings into daily meetings, and sometimes morning and evening meetings, because you must be ready to change everything. We continue to work on the projects, and it's our Handy Friends board. We use our platform. We give a project to our team to create a digital platform for Ukrainian refugees to help them, every Ukrainian who are abroad. And so we have this cooperation with Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Rakuten Viber and Google for Startups support our projects, and we are happy that we can help and that our team do such important things here. And thank you very much for invitation, and Polish people to be.
Thank you, Irina. I would love to focus much more on your latest slide that was focused on these 9 do's. But maybe do you have any questions for Irina right now? Janek, even you don't have any questions?
Why?
Okay. So Irina, regarding this last thing, because I think that was the most beneficial for all of us. If you could just give us your one biggest lessons regarding the situation.
Sorry.
Yes. Because you have the slides from 9 do's from the. Yes. That's the key thing. Which of these points is the most important from your perspective?
The most perspective at the first day is to rescue your team and key players, so it's understandable, but we know that not every founders do like that, so we put it here because we think it's very important, and you must give all possibilities to your team to be safe and to restart work. The second one for me is transparency. To be as transparent as you can, because people must understand what is going on, You must tell them truth about situation company in the country, about everyone ask when we can come back, and you must answer these questions. So you must be like sometimes more important what you say, what you tell them, that what their friends tell. And we seem that continue to work with the projects is to put all the things that you have in usual life, to have an office, to have daily meetings, to have these projects to work, and so we give them this handy friends. So this project for refugees, just at the third day we created it and give it to the team, and they start working in the normal way. And the deep dive into the local business community, for us it's very important. So you mustn't sit only with your team, we must pitch and have as much meetings as you can. So I think it's very important. And yes, help Ukraine, so your team must understand how you support, because without this idea it's hard to go through this time.
Okay, thank you once again, and thank you, Irina, for your presentation. Okay, and here we have our third guy. I'd like to welcome Vladimir on the stage, who will be talking about some other interesting stuff, your lessons learned and frameworks, how to help to survive for the founder. Please give a warm welcome to Vladimir.
Okay. Hi everyone, thanks for having me. Okay, this is my time. And this is my time, yeah. I was asked to tell something interesting, so yeah. Sorry, for the last meeting I was thinking very long for what just described, and I think that right now with all the situation, at least for Ukrainians, it's very important to keep calm, yeah, and be effective at least. So I decided to tell my story because I have interesting stories. So first of all, I am actually I'm Ukrainian living in Germany. So I have been living in Düsseldorf for 6 years, and till even now I don't know German well. So I'm just have a lot of work. Why? Because I'm actually a founder. So for the last 5 years, I was working on my own startups, and yeah, trying to survive without any support and partners. And also I'm a father of 2 kids. This is actually at least a biological one, so I'm not sure that I do enough work being father, but still I am a father. By the way, who is, listen, there was a question that there are a lot of founders, but who, please raise your hand, who is a founder and have a kid, at least one. And who has 2? Good. I know you understand me better. So, and being a sole founder, I'm also actually a guy that doing a lot of stuff. I am a CEO, I am a business development manager. I actually forgot to change to actually development business manager. I am a SDR, I am actually a product manager and so on. Also, I'm a financial manager, something like that. So we grew from 3 people to 11 right now, but still I'm doing a lot of work. So actually, also I'm a housemaker. I am working at home due to COVID times, and my kid is living with me in my office. I share a co-working space with them. So actually, yeah, it's quite, you understand that this is actually, it's okay. So, yeah. So what's the problem I face in my ordinary life? So actually, I am dealing with uncertainty. I don't know what is going to be for the next day, because I have already saw revolution. I was a startup in 2014. I saw actually COVID times. I saw war. So uncertainty is actually my best colleague. The second one is multitasking. I have to learn how to do a lot of different works and still focus when it's available. The third time is the lack of resources. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time to do everything. By the way, I just came here from Warszawa Centralna by actually Bolt scooter, and I remember this very nice feeling when I had a bicycle. Unfortunately, I had to sell bicycle to cover my bills. And also big distance, 2,000 kilometers between Düsseldorf and Kiev, where I have founded GetPin, my company, is also create a lot of obstacles. So before COVID times, every 2 weeks I had a flight between Kiev because it's impossible. It's really impossible to start up a company, to register a company without being very close to your clients. You have to listen to them very carefully. You have to ask. You kiss them every day, something like that. Literally. I'm joking. Okay, and of course, actually, the biggest problem is absence of silence. By the way, okay, that's all. As a father of 2 kids, you have to understand that it's actually a problem. So I put here a quote of Elon Musk. I think you know about that it's really sometimes you feel very stressful. But all this creates a lot of problems, even a lack of resources. For example, you know that success rate is only 10%, just a general statistic data you can check if you want. But the funny thing, interesting, what I found that second-time startups, they have twice more probability of having a success. Why? I think because they use something interesting. They use some frameworks, if I called it, what I'm also like using everyday life to be more effective, to be more actually, to be more calm and to stay on a rational part of my brain, not emotional, because when everything goes out of control, it's very difficult to keep calm. Yeah. So actually, framework, it's actually best a set of different kind of tactics when you decided what to do in some types of problems. But also, it's very difficult to use only framework without principles, because principles is judge and help you, is it good or not? Of course, I can, for example, I don't know, I saw a competitor on a dark street, maybe I can kill him. But it's not, it's wrong. Your principles say, don't kill, don't kill. Okay, principles. So framework with principles works well, because principles is actually values that organized in some actually system. And this whole structure helps you to respond, to address different problems, what you see. And from my perspective, why actually second-time startups are more successful, because they saw this. They have already solved this kind of problems. They have experience. This experience they packed in some kind of manuals, how they have to deal with this kind of problem. And in this case, they become more effective. I hope it will continue while you remember your actually sins. So, wait. Okay, let's go. So first, right now I would like to share my actually frameworks. I'm dealing with some of problems. First one is dealing with anxiety and anxiety and stress. This is the most important one, because first of all, you have to, as a founder, as actually, and don't remember that I'm a father, you have to make decision every fucking day. A lot of decision. But you are the only person who is making this decision. That is why, first of all, you have to be to have a good sleep. Sleep is just fundamental things. Initial part of your life, you have to sleep at least 7-8 hours. Think about your coffee regime. Think about your eating habits. For example, someone is his best friend is refrigerator before the night, but it's not the best friend, believe me. Better just not to eat before stress. The second one is actually some practice that helps you to at least stay calm and thinking about, or better even not thinking, just take your time with closed eyes. if you want to just find some supporting materials, a lot of neuroscience said that at least closing eyes and keep calm makes you even better, and you can judge, you can just be more effective on the several hours after it. The third one is breathing. This is actually the best one. Is I found this kind of techniques in 2020 when COVID times have started and I have to work at home. I lost about 70% of my MRR from clients because they been afraid of all these changes. And what I found that when you see a problem, there is two best way options. In my previous life, there was like drink vodka, drink actually beer, something like that, and just to keep calm. But it's not working when you need to be effective on the following hours. First of all, if there is a problem and you can't do nothing without that, go sleep. Go sleep for 20, 15 minutes, it works well. The second one is breathing techniques. I use Wim Hof. There are a lot of deep breathing techniques, but it's really things that physically influence your mind and you are calm down. You get rid of stress, and after that you at least are manageable to write, you are manageable to type, and it means that you are right now can be thinking and make a rational decision. And of course, I have, and the fellows with me have a very good, this is a secret weapon of ours, is kids. Kids is like a switch on-off. This is the best translator when you are like from one type of you are entrepreneur, bam, you take kids and you are just a father. Even if you are biological or not, kids work like this. So actually kids is very good, and of course decreased your time with social media. This is actually distract you from logic thinking, distract you from focus. Please decrease time. This is actually when you calm. Now the second actually techniques, framework I wanted to share with you, and also the same I'm doing and share with my colleagues, is actually what we have to do when we take a new task or project. It's a very simple question. By the way, I'm using this with my kids. I'm just learning them how to ask yourself questions. What? Why I have to do that? What they have repeatedly ask yourself question before doing something. This creates a list of understanding what they are going to do, and this is the best platform to communicate after. Before, this is actually like a robots, and what sense to have robots in your company? And I think you know, but the last what things not to forget is every time ask yourself where and when, because timeline is very important in this. The second one, because I'm just hurry up, I see my time is up. Planning. So here is also interesting things I found out about from neuroscience and also from other part of techniques, that better to live, better to love actually process. Fall in love with process, fall in love what you're doing every day, fall in love in particular sequence of things you are doing every day, but not in actually in a result, because outcome you are eager to reach is actually make you person which are dependent on achieving. But when you are working with startups, it works in different way. Today you are like a god, the second day you lost everything. So it's actually very, very strange. And you feel a lot of stress. But when you love actually process, it doesn't matter. What? COVID? Okay. War? Bad. Okay. So actually it's really work. If you love process, you can stick to it and working easily, and it's connected with dopamine, it's connected with your interest, it's connected with your eager to do something. So it's actually very good. And in startups, the second one, what I wanted to just point you this, actually don't plan for very long time, because a lot of uncertainty and you can't control long-term perspective. Okay, just keep some goals. I want to build largest international company in CE region, something like that. But after that, come build your plan for 3 months to half a year, and that's all, because it's also a lot of things, especially I'm not effective person, I'm not a super effective entrepreneur, but for me it works. I just can reach my goals more effectively in this kind of techniques. And also one more thing, don't forget to evaluate your achievements regularly. Every day, every week, every month, it creates also feeling that you are doing something and you are doing on the right way. Because if you are like doing something and without any results, it's better to think in what are you doing. And dealing with uncertainty, it's actually very easy. It's also useful for my kids. First of all, is face reality. Don't run away from it. Just look at it, how it looks like, how you feel, what is it taste, what is actually the other feeling. Try to evaluate it, how big, how it will cost you, something like that. And after that, you can at least assess some alternatives, how to deal with it. This is actually quite important. And for me, it's worth to communicate some of my options with my colleagues or friends, mentors, something like that. And I predict that during my actually further work, because we are on an early stage startup, my values and frameworks will become different. They become actually, I don't think different, but new values will come because we have to deal with and work with bigger quantity of person, better stuff, something like that. But at least actually it works right now, it's good. I think that's all. Only what we are doing, we actually have multi-location. This is actually very good. So we are help multi-location business to communicate and to manage their online presence and online communication. Yeah. So this is the biggest companies in petrol, finance, retail, energo service. In Poland, we work with PKO Bank already. Yeah. So I hope we will do some more business. And thank you very much. On the last things I wanted to say, thank you again for support of Poland for the first time. The same.
Thank you, Vlad, also.
Yeah. In the first days of war, I drove almost 5,000 kilometers. Right now, in my places live in 5 people, and I know what is actually help refugees, and what actually I saw that time, it was really outstanding support. Thank you very much, Poland. Niech żyje Polska, слава Україні.
Thank you, Vlad. I have some questions for you because I also like frameworks. And can you describe your daily frameworks in your life that helps you cope with, 2 childs and so on? What frameworks do you have in your everyday life?
In my everyday life?
Yeah, you have a life?
I don't actually have. I try to skip this term every day because every day creates some routine, and routine makes actually not interesting. And when you skip,
but frameworks are some kind of a routine.
But this actually works. You woke up at 7 o'clock, at 6:30, 6:04. If you are the first, you just put prepare some.
Okay, so you don't have any frameworks.
This is framework. First of all, you have to feed up. Basic framework, you have to feed up your kids. It's actually like a routine.
Okay, it's unpredictable thing, yeah?
It's predictable. They want to eat every fucking morning.
Okay.
I think this is the most predictable thing.
Okay.
After eat, they want to pee and caca. This is the second predictable thing.
Okay.
But framework is, first of all, don't take your phone, especially right now during the war.
Okay.
Don't forget about him. Yeah.
Yes, of course. It's impossible to forget about him. But I have another question.
Don't take your phone. Please leave the phone. The second one, what I'm just trying to reach, go out and you have to see the sun, because sunlight is very works in a biological way very good. It's like to turn on your internal engine, and makes you clear. And don't drink coffee first. just leave 2 hours in the morning after you woke up to leave coffee. And the second one, of course, I have actually a daily routine. I take my list of A4 before, after kids went to kindergarten, something like that.
What kind of tools do you use for these frameworks? Do you have any tools that you can recommend us?
For me, it's actually a sheet of paper, A4, and printer, laser printer. Because if it's not laser, you have to just pop up your cartridge very often.
Okay, I have another questions here from Janek.
Thank you very much, Piotr. Thanks a lot. I really like your slide about what, how, and why. And there's a great book by Simon Sinek. I'm pretty sure that all of you definitely should read it. But and I really like your slide. And I want to ask, what is your why? What is your why?
My
wife. Why?
Mine. Why of what?
No. On your slide, if you come back to your slide, there's something. Ask yourself the questions.
Yeah.
So what is your why? I know my why.
No, but actually you are talking about startup, about living. So what why? So actually my wife is don't lose your life. Life happens every day, every minute. Don't lose.
Fucking love it. Seriously, thank you. This is exactly what you have said. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any questions for Vlad? Okay. Women's first.
Thank you. Can you tell more about your team in Ukraine? What happened after the war began? Where they are? Have you helped them anyhow?
No.
How many of those? Like, how many developers do you have there?
Actually, again, framework. So it's again about framework. When we saw me and Mike, when we saw that something is going to happen. A month before starting of war, we had a talk with my CTO because a big part of technical team is and were situated in Kiev. So we discussed what if the war start? What if something happened, what we're gonna do? And we already developed a plan, what we're gonna do. So we decided and communicate this actually, we communicate plan, this with our colleagues and team, what if the war started, what we were gonna do. And the technical team, they went to western part, actually a part of operational, they were part of in different sides of Ukraine, but mainly in the western part, and 2 girls in Spain, Germany, something like that. So all safe, and we continue working and helping companies, to maintain their online presence.
Great. There were also another questions.
Your question, please.
From the audience.
Hi, thank you for presentation. And being a CEO of a startup, you probably have some metrics, which helps you track your growth, and see how do you perform. And here, probably the main question: do you ever compare what was before, and and how it looks like right now after you introduced all those frameworks? So do you have a metric to track, your performance?
Of efficiency, of
Yes.
my personal efficiency? No, I'm not.
And that, how do you understand?
It's actually very difficult to achieve. So
maybe level of happiness or something. Like what advice you use telling you that you're
I understand, but the question is that thanks God I was born already happy, so I have a quite high
no, it
level of
was
happiness.
just an example,
so
but
the question is for me the question is productivity. So I don't have actually attention disorder, but for me it's very difficult to focus, especially when you have a lot of multitasking things. So this is actually the most, for me, metrics. How much of task, because I have different tasks, I just divide them on a very important, it's particular the only things I do, because the rest is only to have been noted. But I do only important and important.
So it's rather feeling, right?
Yeah, so it's feeling, so I don't track this.
Okay, good.
Unfortunately, maybe,
Thanks. Any other questions for Vlad? If no, I would like to thank you once again with warm
Thank you.
cheers.
Thank you, Paul.
Very great experience. Thanks. Okay, and here we have the last guest that I'd like to present to you. That is. Oh. This is for you? Yeah. Okay, delegation talk. Okay, please give a warm welcome for Lidiya from Skyworker, my beloved competitor also. Lidiya came a long journey, and I think that it will be a very interesting story. So, Lidiya, the stage is yours, and I will just...
Dzięki. Hello. Hello. My name is Lidiya Terpel. I'm CEO and co-founder of Skyworker. And originally I'm from Kyiv, from Ukraine. The last 1.5 months with a part of my team, great part of my team, my co-founder Sasha and Ola, we are here. Today I don't want to pitch, to tell the truth, our startup, because I know I pitched to all the investors which you mentioned here and which you have here, and I know that they consider opportunity to invest in Skyworker. And that's why I decided to invest this 15 minutes in a little bit another pitch. I want to share with you our own story, our failures, and maybe I will inspire somebody of you to open your own startup, to create something new, and not afraid these mistakes which all of us should do during this wait for amazing big startup. I delegated a function of clicking. I'm a good CEO. I learned that I should delegate as much as possible. Skyworker. Skyworker, it's if to answer for this question really in very simple words, as our users use, Skyworker, it's like Tinder for tech jobs. We are one of the most biggest tech recruiting platform in Ukraine, and now we are actively scaling here on the Europe market. And to tell the truth that Skyworker achieved during the last year, because we launched our product 1 year ago, these numbers, it's 26,000 candidates on the platform, it's 300,000 swipes on jobs on the platform during 1 year, and more than, I think now it's even more than 9,000 interviews which was arranged on the platform. And to tell the truth, to achieve these numbers was not so easy. And we had so many fails during this our trip to these numbers that it's even hard to count. But the story of Skyworker, of this product which you can see today, and you can use our app, it begins not like 1 year ago. It started 5 years ago, and let's start from that period of time. 3 girls decided to create their own recruiting agency because we dreamed about own business. So we decided that we love the tech recruiting field. That's why not? We will do the business. We love the developers, and we spent with them so many times by drinking different alcohol cocktails. To tell the truth, it's another story, but we organized more than, I think, 200 parties for IT developers, so we know really very good what developers want. And the spoiler at the end of this story, I will answer for these questions, what they want. We know developers really very good, we love developers, but to tell the truth, we hated all this recruiting process. We was untraditional recruiters. We hated all the recruiting process. That's why we decided that after 3 years of successful recruiting agency, that we should change something. And you know, these traditional startuppers thought we should change the world and we can do it. After thinking with girls, we decided to make very for some people, it was a very stupid decision to close the successful, profitable recruiting agency, and we decided to start our own startup. And the name was the same. To tell the truth, we fall in love with the name Skyworker. I have the whole story, what it means, but maybe I will tell it to you after the end of this pitch. And we decided that, okay, we will change the world of recruiting. And what should be the first, what we should do? We are 3 girls. Nobody know how to code. We haven't investment. We haven't tech team. We don't know how to create products. Amazing, inspiring start, yeah. Great. And we decided that we should put all these ideas on the paper. And we learn a very modern word, mock-ups. So we decided to create a mock-ups. And I remember that I gathered the first 20 companies who was previously our clients. And I decided to pitch them a new idea of Skyworker platform. But when they asked me, Lidiya, what is Skyworker, what you are doing? I told them that, you know, it's better to see it once than hear like 100 times about it. So I showed them mostly the very simple presentation, what is Skyworker. Yeah, at that time it seems that this is very easy to understand what we want to do and how we want to match people with vacancies on the platform. Yeah, and it was, you know, from today's perspective, I understand that I don't know how we gathered these first 20 companies who told that, okay, when you will launch this product, we will use it. Yeah, and at the same time, we gathered all that, I remember it was 2,000 tech candidates, yeah, on the waiting list. With all that, guys, we drink a lot of alcohol at our startup, these different parties for engineers. And that's why they sign up for the first product. It was not a product even, it was like a mock-ups, and we created a landing and gathered their emails. Yeah, and we think with girls what to do next. We haven't tech team, that's why we have only possibility to speak about Skyworker, to talk with different people about it. So we decided to go to the whole startup conferences and startup competitions which we can find, and to speak about Skyworker. Yeah, and I remember that it was the last days of 2019. We gathered some money for my trip to the Portugal to Web Summit. And I decided that it will be an amazing trip where I will find the first investments for Skyworker. So I went to the Lisbon, spent a few days there in the very big stress, because I remember that I tried to find some people with the red badges, the named investor, and I pitched them that I have an amazing idea for a recruiting platform, and they asked me, do you have some CTO? No. Do you raise some investment previously? No. Do you have product? No. That's why they finished speaking with me during the few seconds after it. But that trip was very useful for me, because some magic happened in the sky. And we are Skyworker, that's why it was very interesting that on my flight from Lisbon back to Kyiv, I sat next to a young engineering genius in the plane. And we began to talk about some recruiting and problems on the market, about some tech even topics. I tried to speak with him, and I had a few hours for this communication with that guy, because he can't escape the plane. It was in the sky. So at the end of this flighting, I proposed to him, and he said yes. Yes, I will be your head of engineering. So at the end of the flighting, I returned to girls with a CTO, and it was a huge success. After which we... Thank you. The same guy, it's still in Skyworker. It was very successful proposal. And after it, we had one startup competition, Seed Stars, proposed us to pitch Skyworker. That startup competition, it was a very big event in Kyiv. So I pitched, I won. And I remember that they was here on my position before the auditory, and they told that Lidiya will represent Ukraine into a big startup competition for the Central and Eastern Europe countries in Kazakhstan. And I remember that firstly, I want to check the climate in Kazakhstan and the situation, and it was minus 33. I remember I Googled it and I understood that, okay, it will be only business trip. So I went to the Kazakhstan, spent 3 days there, pitched a lot, 10 times. And it was very unexpected for me that I won that startup competition. And the main guy in the jury, he came to me and asked me a few questions. How much you raise, what you did, do you have a CTO? And at that moment I have an answer that I have a CTO. Yeah, and he told me that, okay, I want to cover all your investment round for Skyworker. And it was something like, oh my God, crazy. I called to that, to my team. Yeah, they was unexpectedly surprised that I won that competition and I found an investor. So I returned to Ukraine, incorporated company in the US, returned after it to Ukraine and understood very specific, we saw very specific news that COVID happened, and as you can remember that times that each company decided not to hire people, they even began to fire the recruiters. Yeah, and we was in a position when we are pitching that we are a new recruiting platform and you should use it. So it was very hard news for us, and the next half a year we spent not on the growing our candidates database or making our product better. We spent it on the pivoting after pivoting and making our product each month in another way. We tried to make some product market fit for the market at that period of time, but it was really very hard. And I remember that it was the final, our meeting, when we met in my flat. It was on the floor. We ordered a lot of pizza and juice because we expected that it would be a long night with a lot of brainstorming. Yeah, and we understood that we have 3 big fuck-ups during the first year of building a startup. The first fuck-up was our product. We hadn't product market fit. The second fuck-up was our business model. And the third fuck-up was our position on the market. Yeah, such 3 little problems for a startup. And during that night, we decided to change everything. And at the morning, the final, our decisions was, and I will explain what it was. Okay, product. Firstly, we created something so big and so complicated that it was really similar to the LinkedIn on steroids. You know, it had such many functions. It was, you can create it a pipeline. You could match candidates, publish different articles there for engagement candidates. You could chat with candidates. Oh my God, it was really very complicated MVP. Of a product, so we decided that it would be a cool idea to return to the classical rules of startups and to focus only on one kill-it feature. And how do you think, what was the kill-it feature for this recruiting platform? Matching, of course. We returned to the classical function of recruiting platforms. So we cut it, I think, 80% of the old code which we previously on which we worked and our tech team worked. And decided to focus only on this function. And to tell the truth, our understanding of a product was very simple after that year of pivoting, that companies should publish vacancies, candidates should swipe these vacancies, and by swiping right, they can agree to an interview and jump immediately to an interview. And we decided to focus on such very simple product. Secondly, our business model. I heard here that somebody asked about if I have a SaaS platform. Yeah, we have the same shirt that SaaS-enabled marketplace. After it we had SaaS only. And to tell the truth, the spoiler, I think that based on my own experience that marketplaces at the beginning, it's a very bad match for SaaS business model. Even if it's very popular and all investors will tell you that they want to invest into SaaS, don't match the marketplace with the SaaS model at the beginning. Because, for example, our case, each company publishes their vacancies and they should they have like different vacancies, and we can't propose them the the same result each month with bringing the new leads and candidates to the PHP vacancy and security engineer vacancy. So it was really hard to sell them these packages with subscription. And that night we decided that maybe we can adapt some business model from marketing. And it was a pay-per-lead business model, which we successfully adapted into recruiting, and we are first startup, as we know, in the world who successfully did it. And we now take money for each mutual match between the when company agree to an interview and candidate agree to an interview. We have our own currency on Skyworker. It's named units, and all this gamification help us to provide the really some custom service for each company. For some companies we bring like hundreds leads per month. For some companies we bring like dozens leads per month, and each of them can pay for this and understand that they pay for a result. And the last thing which we changed, it was the positioning of Skyworker. At the beginning, we tried to find some very, unique explanation what is Skyworker, but always it was very stupid that you can find your dream job here, all this bullshit. And during these first months of using Skyworker, even when it was really that complicated product, all candidates called Skyworker Tinder with vacancies. And we think that, okay, if they used mostly such naming, why we can't use it? And we decided to make the first positioning with this naming. And it was a huge success because for people it's really very important to shortly describe what they are using and they like this product. That's why it was the easiest way for creating the word of mouth and spreading the idea of Skyworker in Ukraine among the Ukrainian developers on the market. So I recommend it to you sometimes to listen to your customers and try to explain your product in the way how they explain your product. And to tell the truth, before the war, even before the war, the starting of the war, I'm very optimistic. The starting of the war, we had a plan to scale to the Europe, but when it's happened, we understood that okay, we want to donate more. We want to help our people in our country on another level. That's why we want to build a successful startup even faster than we can expect it, and we expected it previously. So now we are not only on the Ukrainian market, and we scaled to the Polish market already, to the Czech Republic candidates market, and to the Romanian candidates market. And We are now spending all our time in brainstorming with my team because we rent a flat together. Yeah, we returned to that period of time when you lived with some neighbors, and each day we spent in discussions how to create a better product. Yeah, sometimes we failed, and I very hope that Sasha's failure after bathroom, that it was our biggest failure on the Polish market. But we solved it really without any. It was successfully without any bad, things with Sasha's hair. It's on her head now. That's why we can do it. Okay, and our app is already open for the using here by Polish developers, so you can download it, you can Google it and use it. And to make some summary, we have a slide with summary. We recommend you to focus on one feature at the beginning. I know that this is hard, and sometimes you will spend 1 year for it. But it costs it. Talk about it everywhere from day one. And based on our own story, we found a CTO thanks to pitching on the events, and we found the first investor thanks to pitching. Watch users' metrics, think of growth hacks to boost it, and try to make money as fast as possible. And I forgot to tell you about our biggest growth hack, and I have time to do it or not? Yeah?
Definitely.
Yeah, great. All investors asked me how we invite candidates to the platform, and we have one growth hack how we did it in Ukraine and how we tripled our sign-ups on the platform during these 3 months. One day we decided to create a referral program with Ola. We discussed different ideas, and one idea was the most stupid. That's why we decided not to do it. It was an idea that maybe we can ask candidates to invite their friends to the platform and send them some alcohol, bottle of alcohol instead of it. So we decided to present this idea to our developers in a team. And we told them, guys, if each developer will have the digital bottle of wine in their candidate's account on Skyworker, and after inviting 4 friends to the platform, we will send them this full bottle of a real wine as a present. And our developers in the team told that, girls, you're crazy. But we proposed them that maybe we can do it in collaboration with a very successful and luxury brand of wine in Ukraine. And they decided that if they will agree to it, it's a fatum, we should do it. That's why we wrote a letter to the CEO of this big wine brand, and he answered that it's a very interesting proposal because IT specialists is very rich people in Ukraine, and they have very expensive bottles of wine. So we put it into our into each candidate's account on Skyworker, and we was surprised that engineers so liked this idea that they invited their friends to platform really crazy even before the public launch. I remember that 70 bottles was gathered during the first 2 hours after publishing it in release. And we tripled really our registrations absolutely for free by using such growth hack on Skyworker. That's why if you have some stupid ideas, maybe they are not so stupid and you should test it. Sometimes it's work and brings you free leads to your platform. And I think that it's all. I'm open for your questions.
Thank you, Lidiya, for this presentation. Maybe the first question for me, because I know your story, I know your situation, and maybe it would be good to put it once again that because of the war, the recruitment market on Ukraine just disappeared. So it's really a terrible situation regarding your your startup. So I really recommend everybody who is looking for developers to use Skyworker here in Poland. And I have also some questions for you regarding how you are dealing with this, because let's say your sales, the activities and so on just drop from day to day for like 99%. Yes, it was something like that. Yes, and it have to be very stressful.
Yeah, we have our own methods how we fight with the stress. It will be our secret, I think, with girls. To tell the truth, we at the first weeks of the war, we had like, here was our metrics, and it dropped like to 0. It was very hard, but to tell the truth, the hardest moment was connected with the people in our team, and to tell the truth, I didn't care about the metrics at that period of time. And now we created a new strategy when we match Ukrainian developers and help them to find jobs only with foreign companies who are able to hire them. Mostly it's the companies from the Europe, US, Canada, Israel. And for the companies in Ukraine, we help them to find some Polish candidates on our platform. Because this mutual match between the companies from Ukraine and candidates from Ukraine, it's impossible now, because for both of them, it will be like a huge risk to work with each other. Yeah.
And your team is right now partly here in Poland and in Ukraine.
Yeah, but we plan to relocate more people here to Warsaw, and speak with them.
Okay, thanks, Lidiya. Do you have any other questions? Oh, okay, here we have.
Lidiya, if you are trying to copy Tinder, please tell us about your experience of using Tinder and maybe some useful tips. Thank you.
It was a really funny story of my first using of a Tinder. It was my last using of a Tinder also. I remember that I opened an app and I didn't understand how, in which site I should swipe boys. So I swipe all boys right. And at the morning, I opened an app and understood that I had more than 50, hi, how are you? And I was in stress and shocked, like, oh my God, all of them think that I like them. So I deleted an app at that moment, and I'm still shy when I think about it.
And to work out the stress, you also use this secret with girls?
Huh? I didn't hear.
Again, one more. To work out the stress, you also go to and use that secret with girls? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe any other questions?
He remembers that he's married and has 2 kids. He need to find a way how to get this experience from. Same for me, right? You're right, Lidiya. Yeah. So you mentioned like many times that you have this, like, I would not say the failures, but rather difficulties, difficult situations. And like, how do you think, taking into account everything is happening right now, like, can you use that knowledge you've gathered before, like these days when you scale to other countries, when you need to rebuild your business? Is anything you could take from that last life? Or you need to learn again everything from the beginning?
No, I think that we became older and more smart. That's why also we used a lot of things from the previously experience, but the markets is really very different. So now we return in the period of time when we speak a lot with our clients, speak a lot with our new users, with Polish guys also. Yeah, if you see Ola write some messages, 100% I think that this is some Polish guy, he is developers, and she asked him how it's to use Skywalker and what he think about the platform. Yeah, so when you scale to a new market and you are marketplace, you should return to the previously methods, but with the today's mindset and understanding of your business. That's why it's easier. Now, I think that it will be not so long period of time as we spent for growing on the Ukrainian market here on the new markets. It will be quicker.
Okay, so Lidiya, that's a question for you and to Piotr. That's exactly the same, so we're going to be even funnier to listen from the more of a startup and a grown business that actually has a marketplace. So you said about SaaS-enabled marketplace. Actually, I'm running one. And the question is, how do you juggle between the supply and demand side to actually get the recruiters, the companies that need IT developers, and the IT developers themselves at the same time?
Okay, firstly, when we was in Ukraine, it was the start of the business. We focused only on one specialization at the beginning. The first 2 months, I think it was only front-end developers. That's why it was easier, because you have this focus. After it, we began to grow and make the database wider, the specialities wider. But the first of all, you should invite few thousands of candidates, in our case, and after it to invite some companies to the platform. In our today's case, we have some specifics that a lot of Ukrainian candidates, like 20% of the market, relocated to the Europe, mostly to the Poland. That's why it's our the start for building the business here, with inviting more really Polish candidates, but for companies it seemed that all of them are Polish candidates. So each market have some specifics. For example, for Czech Republic and Romanian market, we will use another options for growing the demand supply these parts. But you should understand at the beginning whom to invite firstly. In our case, it's candidates. Yeah.
Why it's candidates actually?
You know, the example which I had from a very good mentor from one company, he asked me, okay, if Skyworker, it's a supermarket. Yeah. What should be first in the supermarket to invite the other side? And I told that it should be some goods on the shelves. Yeah. And after it, you can invite the buyers. That's why in our case, these goods on the shelves, sorry, developers, if you're here, didn't listen it. These goods on the shelves, it's developers in our case. And the buyers, it's the companies. Yeah.
Okay. Piotr?
Can you repeat the question for me?
Yes. So how did you build the first supply and demand?
Chicken egg problem. How
yeah, so chicken and egg problem.
So,
how did you solve it?
Tomek is head of people with one of the nice, fast-growing software houses. I recommend you to use also Skywalker. So regarding my situation, the chicken egg problem. So first of all, I just add and do not ask anybody to add 300 job postings on Just Join IT from the companies with salaries. The companies do not even realize that they have these postings. And then I'm trying to make some things to promote them on social media with some kind of distribution for free in social media groups, also alongside with live streams with Polish developers from all around the world. So first of all, let's say we have like 300 job postings, which was 2 times bigger than the other job board that existed at the time that was directly focused to this niche. So we have from start the biggest choice, even though the choice was not so much. However, it was like that. And then I was trying to encourage the developers, told them that, okay, you have the biggest choice, and so on and so on and so on. And that was like that.
So if I understand correctly, so correct me if I'm wrong, the growth hack here is just to scrape, for example, all the candidates or all the job posts and just put it on your platform, and that might work very well for the other side.
Of course, it's very, very.
I have an answer. In our case, we never I forgot this word. 1 second. Yes, spread or this candidates list or even vacancies. At the beginning, it was the real people who registered on the platform. But our case was unique because we had a very big IT community in Ukraine, thanks to our previously business, thanks to our previously networking parties. So for us, it was like one publishing in the LinkedIn that, hey guys, register here, and we gathered like 2,000 pre-registrations at the beginning. That's why my recommendation to build your startup in the field where you really have some name and you know this sphere really very, very good. Yeah, the best explanation that it was at the beginning that the cool sales managers created the platform for this field. For example, we was in the recruiting field and we decided to, like a next step, to create own product in this field. Yeah.
Yes, I'd like also to add the context here because 5 years ago when I started Just Join IT, the context was like that the niche job boards have like from 1 to 200 job postings. So to outperform them, I just need to have twice as much, and it wasn't hard, let's say, yes. Right now, when this job portals has like 10,000 job ads, it's much more harder to outperform them. And it's also the GDPR things and so on, and many of these companies would be angry, maybe except Tomek Jurek. But yes, right now it might be much more harder to do it. However, I also recommend Lidiya to make and scribe job postings and many other things, but she's not want to do this right now.
No, we did it. Right now. Yeah, but thank you. It's very interesting case that we are like competitors, but like friends with Piotr. I'm very thankful for your help. Yeah, thanks. And one more thing. It seems that it's very easy to publish some content that, hey guys, registered. One important thing, we used very specific positioning because we understood really deeply what candidates hate into previously like older recruiting platforms and the typical platform. We understood that they hate the applying for jobs. In Ukraine, they hate the applying for jobs. That's why Skyworker focused on the this function for passive search. That's why here you will not like apply for a job. We focused on the another things so that candidates don't ask the long reads of vacancies descriptions without important for them details. So we created unique vacancy descriptions with the whole important details for the candidates, and we highlighted it in each post, in each articles. It's a big work of Ola and Sasha, that they spoke with candidates so many times that they understood how to use in 3 sentences the describing of a platform, after which they want to really register on this platform, even without any open and published vacancies, because on Skyworker they can check vacancies before today only, after registrations. And now for the Polish market, we changed the strategy. Now our platform is really open. You can filter the whole vacancies, and only after it, when you see these vacancies, you can register to the platform.
We have a demo video.
Yeah.
Maybe we can put it on. It is right here on that slide.
Ola, I think we occupied this event, but okay, let's do it. Yeah. Yeah, if you can play the. Click to watch our demo. Okay, you can do it. Can you click to that? Yeah? Cool.
In the meantime, do you have any other questions to Lidiya? Tomek. I missed you.
There's one thing, like as a potential client, I have one issue with your business model, and that's a trust issue. Like when I am encouraged to buy something based on cost per impression or cost per click, that can be easily faked. Like, have you ever thought about this? Because I'm used to pushing very severely on success fee model anytime I recruit anyone, and you know that how it works.
I understood your question. Yeah.
So what do you think about this? Like, how would you convince me that this trust issue is not an issue?
Yeah, I understood it. Thanks. Very cool question. When the company firstly registered on Skyworker, we put it on your company balance some our units for free. It's our currency, and you will spend these units for each interview, and we give you such number of units which will be enough for successful hire on Skyworker, because mostly the 15 interviews on Skyworker finished with a successful hire. That's why it's very easy to test.
So I'm waiting for this demo because I just signed up, and it said that you'll demo me. So can we do the demo now?
Okay, let's see our demo, and we will finish, then switch to the networking. Yeah.
Okay.
It's possible, guys?
Tomek Zapadka, how are the things going? Tomek? Yeah. Okay, so maybe we will do it afterwards. Any other questions to Lidiya? Okay, just give us a moment of time.
Do you have some jokes?
Yes, I have maybe one question. What do you think how the market will... okay, maybe no. Maybe we will see this.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lead gen platform for tech hiring. You need to hire a software engineer?
No, it's not.
Here's Alex.
Okay, maybe we'll do this in another way. We will put it on our social media. So let's give a warm cheers to Lidiya. Thank you for your performance. You are a really brave founder. Okay, so I think that I'd like to thank you, everybody, for being with us at this Aula event, even though we do not have any screen right now, but okay, sometimes it happens. Right now, I think that we could change to the networking stuff and so on. The next event will be at about 18th of May or something like that. So you are also welcome. The next event, I don't know where it will be. However, during the 2 months' time, we'll have also a big party. And Yannick is approaching me. Yannick, you would like to add?
I'm so happy that you actually managed to read my minds already.
Okay, give a warm welcome to Yannick. It's our happiness manager at Aula.
So guys, thank you very much for all the presentation. Piotr, thank you for hosting us here. I'm really happy that we had so many great presentations here. And I'm pretty sure that you guys are thinking about one crucial question in your head. What's next? So yeah, there's a next one. We're going after party. So once we finish what we decided to do here, then you go somewhere else. If you want to know where exactly where we're heading, please come to me. I'll be sitting there with my friends, and we'll decide where we're going. Okay? Thank you very much, Piotr. Thank you for everything.
Thank you very much.
Dziękuję ci bardzo.
Okay.